The municipalities are the basis of the society. When you are in Mexico, you don't know many things about Ukraine. Oh no, everything comes from the government.
You are very tight in what you can do here, right?
Most people think that in the embassies is like an ideal. Come and visit us, let's talk.
Are Mexican investors interested in investing into Ukraine?
In the differences, there are the similarities. Like Mexican cinema, like Mexican artists, like Mexican folklore. We are all humans.
Hello, this is podcast PRO.громади, platform where we talk about important things in a simple way. And today, our guest is Counselor, Deputy Head of the Mission of the United Mexican States in Ukraine, His Excellency, Mr. Francisco de Paula Castro Reynoso. Mr. Counselor, nice to meet you here.
Very nice to meet you. Very nice to be here in your program.
We often hear about the activities of embassies. Only few people imagine what are really the embassies are doing. So could we start from the basics? Why do embassies exist in other countries? And what are the key functions?
Well, very interesting question. I mean, the embassies exist in other countries because they represent one country in each other's. All right? So this is the main thing, representation. An embassy is like an office, yes? It has different departments. It has the political one, the cultural one, the commercial, the social webs, communication, and so many others. And administration, of course, is very important. And there is a boss in this big office, which is the ambassador general, or it could be a chargé d'affaires. It depends on the situation. And in this case, His Excellency Audencio Contreras Gonzalez, who arrived last June. It will be 1 year in 5-6 weeks. And he definitely is, his intention from the very beginning is to strengthen the relations between Mexico and Ukraine in many fields, particularly in the fields of trade and in the fields of cultural activities are the main goals, to strengthen the relations and to get to know the two countries, because sometimes when you are in Mexico, you don't know many things about Ukraine. And when you are in Ukraine, you think of Mexico as a very, very distant country. You don't know what to expect from. So the thing is that getting cultures together in order to enlighten the knowledge about it. And this is the main goal that we are doing under his leadership.
I have a practical question for you. What does a typical day at the embassy look like?
Well, for the ambassadors, mainly is representation. So it goes to a very tight agenda that it requires meetings with the different instances of the government. It requires also to have receptions from other embassies or to have meetings with other ambassadors and with different groups of ambassadors, for example, the Latin American ambassadors, the North American ambassadors, the European ambassadors, African ambassadors, whatever, in order to have conversations regarding the situation in general. Also, he leaders the group inside the embassy in order that everything that is coming from headquarters in Mexico is duty filled with the administration things, the instructions that we receive from headquarters from Mexico City in order to do cultural activities or to promote certain activities in social webs or whatever.
Are there any stereotypes about the work of embassies that you maybe like to debunk right now?
Most people think that in the embassies is like an ideal. Yes, like working in an embassy is like an ideal of being in receptions and being in concerts and being in different activities that are idealistic. But those activities are work. I mean, because when you go to those activities, you are working. You're talking about what's going on in the country, what is happening in your country, what's happening in the other country, what's happening in the hosting country, in order to get analysis. So it's a 24/7 working time, and you never stop. Even you have to work on weekends as well. So the idea, or the idealistic idea of being just sitting and contemplating and going to and having a very good life is not real. It's just like hardworking. We're hardworking people.
Is it right that you are almost never relaxing?
Never relaxing, yes, because also we have a Mexican community. It's very small, but we have to take care of their needs. We have a consular section. This consular section requires to give documents, and we also give visas, different certificates, birth certificates, death certificates, whatever is necessary in the embassy. So if a Mexican is in need of an urgent passport, well, I have to go to the office and I have to give the passport, even if it's Saturday or Sunday. I mean, so it's really, you have to be with your phone. I mean, I have my phones. I have 3 phones, yes, and I always they are turned on. They're never off. Yeah, it's true.
I see. All right. As you mentioned earlier, in a few weeks, it's going to be a year since His Excellency, the Honorable Audencio Contreras Gonzalez, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the United Mexican States in Ukraine, headed the mission.
That's right.
How can you assess this year? Like, what key achievements can you represent that have been made or agreed between our relations, Ukraine and Mexico?
Since the very first moment he arrived, he told us that he wanted to strengthen all kind of relations, and he has done it. He has done it in many ways. In the cultural, we have done cultural activities, and we'll continue to do in this year to promote the presence of women and the importance of women in society, which is one of the main goals of the actual administration in Mexico. We are doing so. Also, we are in straight contact with the Chamber of Commerce in order to get acquainted on how to create like a business group of Mexican businessmen and Ukrainian businessmen. We have access, or we have very strong relation with the parliamentarians in order to strengthen this group that we already have between the friendship group of in the parliamentary, in the Senate, between Ukrainian parliamentarians and Mexican parliamentarians as well. So all these things have been working, spinning in this year, and will be continuing until his final days as ambassador. No, yeah.
Are Mexican investors interested in investing into Ukraine?
We are doing a hard working in this matter in order to convince Mexican investors that this country needs a lot, and it's a very good market in order to invest. So this is the way we're doing at the moment.
How is the effectiveness of the work of the ambassador and the embassy as a whole measured in general? Do you have a specific KPIs which was targeted for you by your government, or you like make your own goals?
Oh no, everything comes from the government. Yes, of course. No, we have an administration plan for the government that moves from the presidency and then goes to all the ministers, yes, and then it goes to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and there's a Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It has a special plan. We have in accordance to all those requirements in order to fulfill the plan of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs plus the plan of the Republic of Mexico. Yeah.
What are the key priorities for the Embassy of Mexico in Ukraine for the next year?
The key priorities are to strengthen the relations with the Chamber of Commerce, as I told you, and to continue fostering the cultural relations, particularly in the fields that Mexico are asking us, like letting us know what kind of things we must promote of Mexico, like Mexican cinema, like Mexican artists, like Mexican folklore, like Mexican culture, prioritizing the policy that women are very important, equality of gender, and so many other things that are really part of the administration in general at the moment.
We know that Ukraine today is living like under the state of war, and there are a lot of shelling, especially in Kiev. Why did you decide to join the mission here, and were there moments when you wanted to leave?
No, I mean, when you're a diplomat, you're a soldier. Yes, you sign a contract, and wherever they send you, you have to go. If you don't want to go, you simply resign. And where they send you, you know you have to adapt to the situation, and you have to produce, and you have to get good results. And I have been in very different countries, completely different cultures, different languages, like Saudi Arabia, like Turkey, like Haiti, like the Holy See, and Ukraine. And I have been adapted to all of them. I have sort of learned the languages of the countries, the culture, the food, and everything. And I feel happy because it enriches you a lot and makes you multicultural. And this is it gives you a sense of pride that you have within you, and you can share it with your family and friends.
Since we are a podcast about the communities, I cannot avoid the topic about intermunicipal collaboration. As far as I know, right now only 2 Ukrainian municipalities has its sister cities from the Mexico. So it's Irpin with Tlacomulco de Zuniga.
That's right. Irpin, yes.
Yes, and Brovare with Tonala. But in general, Ukrainian communities has already established more than 2,500 international partners. So in your opinion, why are there so few partnerships with Mexican communities?
No, I mean that part we need to strengthen definitely, because we don't have to remain in Kyiv. We have to move to different regions, and we have to move to different municipalities, because the municipalities are the basis of the society, of what becomes the entire country. There's several similarities in many different communities in Ukraine and in Mexico that share common goals. Even we have different way of we don't have the same language or the same food. No, definitely no. But we share the same sense of proud for our country. We the same proud of our traditions. We are very well family oriented society, and all these values have come together in order to strengthen the municipalities and to identify what kind of products or what kind of art crafts some municipalities are doing and some others are doing, and getting together. So we have to slowly making a net to produce, to melt and do this sisterhood or brotherhood, if you call it in a male gender, between municipalities. And I think this is very, very, very important, because it makes countries closer and people closer.
You mentioned the similarities between both of our countries, but because of different cultures, a lot of differences. In your opinion, can intercultural differences hinder the process of establishing partnerships?
No, definitely no. I mean, in the differences, there are the similarities. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. In the difference, there are similarities, because those things that are different are the opportunities. I mean, when you have difficulties, you have opportunities when you have differences, you have similarities. And when you get all those things together and you put them on a common thing, you know that at the end, we are all humans and we have all the same needs. And we are looking for the same things, which is to be happy.
In popular culture, the Mexico and Mexicans is often portrayed like one-sidedly, with an emphasis on crime, immigration, or spicy food. But we know that lots of this stuff is stereotypes. Could you please describe Ukrainians? What are really true Mexicans look like?
Well, true Mexicans, I mean, Mexico is a very big country, yes. Is the largest Spanish-speaking country in the world. We have 136 million people living in Mexico. And we are in between three oceans, I mean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific, the Caribbean. We are a melting of different groups, the indigenous group or the original groups plus the Spaniards. And also we have the third root, which is the African one. And all these have become Mexico. So stereotyping Mexico as this man sitting on a bench with a big sombrero is something that doesn't happen anymore, because you can find it in some villages, but it doesn't mean anything, because even though you can find it there, it doesn't mean anything, because in every village there is progress. In every village there is electricity. In every village there is movement to do different things, to acquire different things. Mexico has plenty of big cities. Mexico City is probably one of the largest cities in the world. It's 22 million people. And you have also cities like Guadalajara and Monterrey, which are very, very large, with a lot of communities inside, with a lot of interest inside, with a lot of different things to do. So when you go to Mexico, you find, for example, Mexico City has 150 museums.
That's huge.
Of course, that's good. It's a very cultural city. There's plenty of things. You are never bored in Mexico City. There's plenty of things to do. You are never bored in the country, because you're going to the northern part, you find these beautiful deserts. You go to the Gulf of Cortez, and you have this beautiful sea between the land between the desert. And then you move to the central parts, and you have these colonial cities. And then you move to the south, and you have these jungles with alligators, and you have these pyramids and the Mayan civilization and whatever. And you go to the Caribbean, you have these beautiful beaches like Cancun and whatever. So you never get bored in any sense. If you like sports, if you like adventure, if you like culture, if you like food, particularly food, you will be in the best place.
Returning to the topic of municipal partnership, in your opinion, in what areas do you think there is the greatest potential for cooperation between Mexican and Ukrainian municipalities?
I think cultural activities. Yeah, mainly culture, because cultural gets everything together, and there is no any differences. I mean, you cannot have any misconversation regarding culture, because culture unites. So I think culture, it should be the main thing that we should enhance in the municipalities.
Top 3 places in Mexico that you can advise to Ukrainian to visit.
Well, Mexico City is a place that you must visit, because it's a capital city and there's plenty of things to see. The second probably could be go to the Caribbean, the area of the Mayan Riviera, which goes from Cancun, Tulum, Akumal, and that goes to the border with Belize, okay? And the third one, the central part of the Republic, which is the area of Querétaro, Guanajuato, Michoacán, which has beautiful colonial cities with beautiful convents and churches and everything. And probably these three things, Mexico City, the colonial area, and the beach, could be the main attractions.
Our podcast is very popular among the mayors and the representatives of local self-government bodies. So what key recommendations can you give the mayors and the one who are going about in the sphere of establishing partners relations with Mexican communities?
Well, we come and visit us. Let's talk. Let's have a chat. We invite them to go to visit Mexico and to see the potential that Mexico has in order to identify the best assets where we can become together. I mean, if you don't visit a country, you don't know the country. Okay, you have the ideal that I told you before about the country. But if you go and you see, you say, well, there is a chance in this area, this area, this area, this area, and we can work on this thing. So visit, get together, and work together.
So, am I right? The embassy is open for the establishing partnership, and
course.
any mayor can easily contact you.
Of course, anytime. Yes.
Before we finish, I would like to do a little blitz with you. So
A little what?
it's like a quiz.
A
or
quiz?
Blitz. Yeah. So
All right.
I'll.
What if I fail?
There is no option for you to fail.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. The task is very simple. I'm going to tell you two different things, and you have to pick the one that is closest to you. Okay?
To me or to my country?
To you personally.
All right.
Office work or freelance?
Office work.
Garnacha or borscht?
Garnacha.
Garnacha.
Yes.
Traditions or innovations?
Traditions.
To live in city or in the village?
Medium-sized cities.
Trust or control?
Trust.
Diplomacy or force?
No, diplomacy, definitely.
And finally, a quick look into the future. How do you see Mexico's role in Ukraine post-war reconstruction? And in what directions could our partnership develop further in peacetime?
Well, I mean, as Mexico, as all other countries that are here in Ukraine, are looking to help Ukraine in the coming up situation. With all the things that I'm telling you, we are here to witness, to support you, and to do what we can do in order you to become greater in the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. And thank you for being here with us today. It's very important so we can share that Mexico is here in Ukraine and it's closer than you think. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
De nada. It was a pleasure to be here.
It was a pleasure. And for our subscribers, please give us a like, share the video with your friends. It's very important for us to share this important information as much as we can. Thank you.